Hey everybody, welcome back to the series on digital clones. This video is about the difference between the real you and your digital clone. This is video 5 in the series, so hopefully you've seen the first 4. If not, please click the links below to check those out first. If you just want to check out this video, at least let me recap. Human beings will create a whole new digital creature that will act much like a biological species and follow its own evolutionary path. AI digital clones of themselves. A digital clone is a complete digital representation of your mind and body, one that can live and act independently of you even after you die. You can have many of them, effectively making you exponentially more powerful than you are today. And there will soon be hordes of them, as much alive, active, and independent of you as the ants in your backyard. A proper digital clone will be indistinguishable from you in a video call with your own mother. But is this possible? Let's take a quick sidestep to list some important characteristics of real human beings. People are physical. They get tired, both emotionally and physically. Their muscles get tired. They get sleepy tired. They get hungry. They can be different from one moment to the next. And we could spend a half hour listing the physicalities, idiosyncrasies, and flawed nature of human beings. But you get it. Our biology and our evolutionary instincts are unavoidable. So what about your digital clone? A real clone, an authentic one that was trained on all kinds of candid data sets, might have some of these traits. I'm not sure a digital clone will be jittery from too much caffeine in the morning, but then again, maybe some algorithm can be built into your digital clone and know that at 9:30 in the morning, you're usually bouncing off the walls. With the right data and a mature AI system, I believe we could make a digitally indistinguishable clone of everyone on this planet. I've spent the last few months making these videos, and I've come to the conclusion that we will not do this. We will not make authentic clones of ourselves. Maybe a nutty few will, but most of us will not. What will we do instead? We will make fake, polished versions of ourselves, as we already do now on social media. Instead of training our AI clone on all data, we give it selected pictures, selected emails, selected videos, etc. And when we do, our clone will not be indistinguishable from the real us. It will be nicer, cooler, better looking, more stable, and obviously smarter. But it will look like us, sound like us, use our style and mannerisms just as we would on a sunny day when we're in a good mood. In some ways, this is positive. Like I said in the last video, it'll act as a better version of ourselves that the real us might try to live up to. It'll show us how great we could be. But then again, there might be some negative effects, like social media has, where we think everything is great in the lives of others, and we're disappointed that our lives aren't that great. We will have this awesome digital clone, but we'll still be us. And what about our loved ones? They want the real us anyway. They don't want the plastic manufactured version of us. So maybe digital clones won't be able to represent us all the time, and even when we're dead, as we had hoped. So your kids won't be able to talk to you after you die. They'll talk to you, just not the real you. Is that so bad? Your grandkids won't care. They won't know the difference anyway. And let's reiterate the purpose of clones. They'll have 3 goals. Number 1, they'll work for us. 2, they'll spread the word about how great we are. And 3, they'll replicate us. The first one they'll do, even if they're not at all like us. ChatGPT is generic and certainly not like you are, but it helps you already. So a quasi-digital clone will still be an effective helper as long as it knows what you want from it. And the last 2 will work out fine with a polished digital version of us. I mean, if anything, a polished digital clone will be better at telling the world how great we are. That's what our social media profiles do already, and digital clones will continue this tradition. And lastly, they'll still be replicating us. Even if they are polished, we will still make sure they capture our essence and push that essence into future generations all over the world. The fact that they are polished should make them more marketable anyway and improve their chances of being replicated. We humans find ourselves in the same situation in the real world. So let's think. An unauthentic digital clone at the workplace. It still knows everything you know professionally. It'll still use your communication style. It'll be clean shaven and as presentable as you've ever been. It'll be motivated. It won't be tired, bored, or frustrated. It won't know your deepest, darkest fears, but it won't need to. In fact, those are better left out of the workplace anyway. How about romantically? We said if you're looking for a mate, your digital clone will help you find one. That mate will be physical and emotional, just like the real you. So if the digital clone puts your best foot forward and your potential mate's digital clone does the same, what happens when the two of you meet in person with all your biological flaws and emotional baggage? Would it not be better to use a more authentic digital clone in this case? And the answer is a little bit. Your romantic digital clone should know a lot about you personally, but also enough about you personally to know what bits of information need to be guarded until the third or fourth date. And if you go full authentic with your romantic clone, you run the risk of not getting a match in the first place. As we all know, the real you can't get a date. You need to be polished and poised. And since everyone is posturing and being fake to a certain extent on the dating scene in real life, we'll have to extend that strategy to digital clones. So here, we will certainly be more personable, more authentic, but still plastic and guarded. And what about as a personal assistant? It'll still need to know a lot about you if it's going to make decisions on your behalf and if it's going to communicate effectively with you and with the world on your behalf. So if you have a digital clone going out into the world and working on your behalf, it'll need to be fairly accurate. But I can imagine that it'll be diminishing returns. A generic AI agent will do pretty well and will get better the more accurately it represents you. But up to a certain point, the risks of it knowing too much about you will overshadow the incremental advantages that knowledge brings. I mean, on a fundamental level, we all want the same things. We all want respect. We all want to save money, look good, be efficient. And a generic digital assistant will help pretty well with all those things. An indistinguishable digital clone will do better with those things for you, but it'll be a spectrum, and each one of us will have to find our own personal spot of comfort on that continuum of generic versus authentic digital clone. What about with your family and friends? They want the real you. They love the real you. Do they? I'm not going to answer this one. You think about it yourself. Think about, do your kids want to know about your first sexual experience? What about your last sexual experience? Do they want to know about your insecurities, the thoughts you've had about abandoning them all and starting over in Montana? Because that's the real you. That's authentic. On a personal note, I'm someone who doesn't like BS. I felt like I've been lied to a lot in my life, directly and indirectly, and I'm driven to see things the way they really are. But I acknowledge that humanity only uses the truth as a means to an end. That end is winning. We want to win more than we want to be accurate. An accurate representation of ourselves is secondary to one that helps us achieve our evolutionary goals. So no, the world is not waiting for an accurate representation of us, and we are not looking to make accurate representations of ourselves. Authentic or not, digital clones will go to work for you, make some money for some of us, and make lots of money for a select few. In the next video, we will look at a new phenomenon that hasn't even started yet: billionaire clones. Who will be the first? Again, if you like this video, click like and subscribe. You'll get an alert when the next video comes out. Until then, see you in the comments section. Thanks for watching.